Welcome to the Driving the World podcast series. I'm your host, Cully Holland. Today we are coming to you from the AGMA Motion and Power Expo, and we have Joe Gorel with Bourne Co. Hey Joe, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Hey, welcome. Pleasure to meet you, Cully.
So just for the listeners out there, why don't you introduce yourself, your company, kind of what y'all do and where you fit into the industry?
Sure. I'm Joe Gorel, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Bourne & Co. We are a little over 45-year-old machine tool company. It's pretty unique. We offer custom machine tool solutions. We offer gear manufacturing machines, but we also own 28 American machine tool companies, names like Bullard, Blanchard, DeVlieg, Mach, Barber Coleman, Fellows, and we provide parts, service, and support for those. Also rebuilding, remanufacturing, and really just being able to help you keep those machines running and keep them productive even though they're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old.
So it sounds like you've really just put your arms around that complete little section of the market, and it sounds like you're just going to try and help your customers at the end of the day have the machines they need and either rebuild them or improve them and give them some options. So like, what are some machines that you service and that you build, and like what do they do for the customers out there in the industry?
Sure. So some of the machines in the gear industry that we service and support specifically are our Barber Coleman gear hobbers. So the Barber Coleman 610, like the 1616, the 1636. We do parts, service, and support for those. And you'll still find those in plenty of gear manufacturing companies, both large and small. Even some of the really large OEMs still run older manual machines for some of what they do. There's also Fellows gear shapers, so like the 104. You still see a lot of gears being produced on those, and we can do parts, service, and support for those, but we can also retrofit them to new CNC controls. We can remanufacture them where we bring in like a full rebuild to it as well. Basically get it up to brand new as far as the quality it'll produce and the technology that's on it. The new machines with solutions we provide for the gear industry are primarily horizontal gear hobbers. So really it's, if you need to put a spline or put teeth on something that's a longer part, so like say an axle shaft for a piece of heavy equipment or like a helicopter rotor shaft, you may use a horizontal gear hobber to do that because the parts are 30, 40, 50, 60 inches long, and they may have teeth at both ends, and to set it up in a horizontal makes a whole lot of sense because you can hob both splines in one setup. And the way our machine's designed, you can put multiple different hobs on the hob head and hob arbor so that you can do a few different gears on one shaft in one setup and process those type of parts very efficiently.
So it sounds like you guys are gonna have your hands in a lot of markets, because those applications for what you're talking about with the hobbing and the cutting, those exist everywhere. So I'm sure there's a lot of opportunity for, if customers need some help, to reach out, or for you to keep improving on these machines that are a little antiquated and then bring them up to new life and to the current technologies, which we're always trying to move forward and make sure we're giving the best that we can. I'm sure y'all are as well. So with that, if someone were interested in getting a machine rebuilt, or they have one of these machines that you've said is under your umbrella, how would they reach out or find some more information?
Sure. Our website's a great resource for that. You can find us at www.bourne-co.com, so K-O-C-H, and not Bourne like Jason Bourne, B-O-U-R-N. So you can find a lot there, or you can give us a call. Our number's right on the website, and you can give us a ring and speak to someone who's knowledgeable and professional and well-versed in your machine tool, and can help you find the information, the parts, provide schematics, prints, things like that to help you, better understand your machine, operate it, run it, maintain it yourself, or just to have us do it and get a service tech on out and help you repair it. So we kind of run the gamut of helping you maintain those older machine tools, but then also be ready to work with you when you're at the place where you want to replace them.
Very good, and it sounds like you're definitely a customer-friendly, customer-first kind of company, which I know SCW is as well, so I appreciate that. And when we're doing this, I guess I have one more question. Are these machines, can they be customized to the customer's needs, or are they kind of just like you get what you got?
We do a lot of custom solutions. That's really our specialty. So special is our specialty, right? So we can take and change the machine while we're remanufacturing it to add capabilities, to add options, to add different things to it that the machine didn't have before. Like a good example, we did a 10-foot Blanchard grinder. So a Blanchard grinder is a big rotary surface grinder with a magnetic chuck, used for making flat parts even flatter. We added a full enclosure onto that machine for safety and for EH&S concerns that the customer had. We also added an indicator light so that you know when that big magnetic chuck was on, so that if somebody, say, had a pacemaker was walking by it and didn't know, like they'd know that the mag was on. Also for, say, safety, like if you have a piece of metal near that table will take that piece of metal out of your hand, and you could accidentally have clothing and appendage near that table, so they always know when the mag's on. And we also added the capability to be able to position the x-axis of that table so that they could do essentially OD grinding with it, which is something you don't do with the Blanchard grinder. So we added a few special things to this machine that really delivered a solution to the customer while we were remanufacturing it, and it delivered significant value to them because it was a fraction of what a new machine would cost. So it was all around kind of a success in that our engineering expertise allowed us to really give them what they were looking for, also within their budget. So there's a few benefits to doing it that way, but then also when a machine doesn't exist out there that you're looking for as a solution to your manufacturing problem, we can help you with that and work with you hand in hand and really kind of guide you through what we need to talk about and some of the things that you should consider as you're really looking at a custom machine solution.
So at the end of the day, it really sounds like you're just a solution provider for your customers' needs, which is a great place to be in the market. Is there anything else we need to touch on with Bourne & Co., or have we kind of given a good 10,000 foot view?
I think we've given a good 10,000 foot view. If you're interested in learning more about us, check us out on the website. We've done some full tours of the facility that are up on YouTube, so you can really see what we do and how we do it. If you're really that interested, fair warning, it's an hour and a half of me talking, so if you don't like my voice, you're probably not going to want to check it out.
Oh, how could they not, man? And it's always nice to have those resources just readily available for anyone that's interested.
Sir.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Cully. It's a pleasure meeting you, pleasure talking with you, and hope you do as well, sir.